guys, Thomas from Team Sakurasu here, coming at you with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Discussion video, and in this video I will be discussing what makes a good OTS pack. But before I begin, if you like these kind of discussion videos, drop a like and tell me what you want me to discuss next. If you're not subscribed, hopefully today's the day to earn your subscription. And if you're buying cards off TCG Player, please my affiliate link down in the description below. It helps out the channel to no additional cost to you, and I'm going to get right into it. Now, for what makes a good OTS pack to me is I kind of look back at the first old, tournament packs, turbo packs, and I see that it should be a higher rarity of a card that is used in the meta or by a lot of players, right? Essentially, that I said tournament pack, for example, currently we have OTS packs. Before this, at least when I started playing the game competitively, we were entering the age of Astral packs. It essentially will be upgrading a card to a holographic as a super rare or an ultimate rare that tends to see a lot play. A good example that's very popular is Metamorphosis. The super rare is going for $500-$600. Trap does shoot, and these are from like champion packs. Ultis would be like Ulti Trish, right? Ulti Bujin Yamato, because a lot of people, Mujins were a meta deck back in the day, especially post Primal Origin. So making Yamato as an ultimate rare, upgrading it from its ultra rare, made a lot of sense. A lot of people who play tournaments that competitively could get these packs, right? So for those who don't know, if you to get OTS packs, or like whatever the current pack is when you're watching this video, you'd have to play in tournaments unless they change something up. For example, right now, since we're in the pandemic, you can actually get these OTS packs by purchasing $30 at your local OTS store. I believe they give you like 2 packs if you do that. If you purchase 15, I think they might give you 1. I think it may differ from store to store, but point is to see what a good OTS pack is. You have to set the staples up. Does it upgrade high rarity cards that are being used into like ultimates or supers? Is it meta relevant? How do the players like the choices for ultimate rares, since a lot of players love ultimate rares, especially since they are extinct from the main set, and as well as how overall what purpose does the super serve? For example, is it like an outdated super nobody cares about? Is it meta relevant? Is it something that's completely useless? And I will be discussing that in today's video. I will be comparing 2 OTS packs, so you kind of see this point, and I will be also grading the OTS pack. So I will get into the first pack, which is OTS 12, right? Comparing OTS 12 and 13. OTS 12, for the ultimate rare, since that's what most people care about, had great meta relevant ultimate rares like Chaos Dragon Levianeer and Twin Twisters. Now, both of these ultimate rares were meta relevant. I do understand that Twin Twisters, at least I currently make in this video, is quite irrelevant now, especially since we have Harpy's Feather Duster, and since we're not living in too much of back row decks, at least currently in this meta right now, you're seeing Harpy's Feather Duster being sided, so Twin Twisters really is a little bit irrelevant, especially since we have certain cards like Lightning Storm and all that. So Twin Twisters may not be as popular right now, but it could be in the future, and back when OTS 12 was printed, Twin Twisters was run in many decks. Chaos Dragon Levianeer, still a great ultimate run to this day, and it pops up in certain dragon decks as well, and it was a card that people really liked seeing and served as an upgrade bonus. And then you have cards like Solemn Judgment Ultimate Rare, which this was the kicker, because not only is it a meta relevant card, a lot of decks ran it like Geist, a couple others, right? But it was also a collector's card, because Solemn Judgment is a very, very old card, and a lot of, old school players love to see this ultimate rare, especially of old school cards like Scapegoat, Book of Moon, etc., etc. So Tsukiyomi is another ultimate rare. So this served a dual purpose of being meta relevant, since Solemn Judgment will most likely never fade out of existence. It will always have a place somewhere in the meta, maybe not during this current format, but maybe the next one or the one after that. It always phases in and out, but it's also a collector's card and can be played in many different formats. So all the ultimate rare here are very sought after. A lot of people really like them, especially for its time, and the values have reflected that. Now, the super rares also were very good, because back then Salamangreat were a very prominent deck. A lot of people really loved Salamangreat. It was being played quite a bit, and it was still meta at the time, unlike right now where you're barely really seeing Salamangreat, just maybe one here and there. And this served to give 2 super rares to Salamangreat, including Salamangreat Rage, which is a really, really good trap in Salamangreat, and this was a great super choice. This was a super, a super that everybody wanted to see, and a lot of Salamangreat players were really happy with this, besides them wanting an ultimate rare, which I really don't blame them. An ultimate rare Sunlight Wolf would look amazing, but I digress. We also had supers for Grand Maju. Now, Grand Maju, a lot of players before OTS 12 pack was confirmed, Grand Maju was a very popular deck, and still was even after OTS pack 12. But but the thing is, a lot of players wanted this super rare. People were like, "Oh, dude, Grand Maju super rare in OTS 12. It's probably not going to happen." But a lot of players really, really hoped, and we ended up getting it. So the player feedback to OTS 12 overall, I'm not going to comment on every single super, was very, very good, right? A lot of players really loved it, right? There were supers for everybody. There was meta relevant cards as ultimate rares in this pack, so that every player, from the casual player at your locals to high competitive players, could use these ultimate rares. And to me, it also upgrades stuff like Crusadia Leonis was only a common, went to a super. Crusadia is very relevant at the time. Grand Maju, relevant at the time, got an upgrade to a super since its highest rarity was a common, and that was really its only printing was as a common, and then etc, right? Same with a few other cards like Ultimate Rare, Twin Twisters. Yes, it had its secret rare, but it didn't have an ultimate rare, right? Solemn Judgment, yeah, it had secrets, ghosts, all that, but its only rarity was ultimate rare that was missing, and ultimate rare is a fan favorite, so it gave players that. Again, very great OTS pack. A lot of players love this OTS pack. A lot of people consider it one of their favorites, and that's what makes a good OTS pack. It was meta relevant, had upgrades for a lot of cards, right, that were meta at the time. Player feedback was great, and it can age well. Now, we're going to look at something like OTS Pack 13. Now, OTS Pack 13, and I told this because I had a reaction video to OTS Pack 13, and to put it in the best light of words, this was dog shit. Alright, this set is just complete dog. And I will get into why. Now, first of all, we are going to get into these super rares before the ultimate rares on this one. Now, the super rares were stuff like, and to give you an example, were very odd. OTS had awful supers like ABC Dragon Buster. Now, ABC Dragon Buster, when this came out, by the way, was limited. Or it was about to be limited. No, it was limited. And the reason I found this ridiculous is because ultra rares were always less than like $2, right? Nobody was talking how ABC Dragon Buster needs a reprint. Nothing of the sort. It was like $1.50 for ultra rares. Maybe not even. And ABCs have just fallen out of favor in the meta for at least well over a year. They had a little bit of hype coming into Master Rule 5 because they were going to be able to pop off with Union Carrier, but then Konami pre-hit it, hit ABC Dragon Buster 1, same with Totally Awesome. This is kind of irrelevant. And yeah, so this card was limited, nobody was really interested, and they made this a super rare. It had an ultra rare, but it also had a secret rare out of Legendary Collection Kaiba that was like $3, right? So seeing this as a super rare, nobody really wanted it. If you pulled this out of a pack, it was treated like a common. It did not upgrade the card at all, right? It was not meta relevant. It's not going to age at all, right? It's just garbage, right? And player feedback to the super was awful. However, the issue with OTS 13 and why it was more of a awful OTS is that ABC Dragon Buster was one of the only super rares like this. To give you another example, was Junk Speeder, and I actually met a guy trying to defend this point back when OTS 13 just came out, and man, I don't even get this. But Junk Speeder was a secret rare out of the 10, and by the way, I'm reading this off the phone just in case, so I remember OTS 13 because it's so forgettable. OTS 13 for super rares are very forgettable. And Junk Speeder was a secret rare out of the 2018 tins, right, that it saw a little bit of play for like maybe 3-4 days. It definitely was not a week, right, where it rose up to maybe $2-3, but then it went back down to being like a quarter, 50 cents, right? This card is not worth any money, but the secret rare looks absolutely stunning. So they decided to make it a super rare in OTS Pack 13. Now, it's not meta relevant. It's not even worth $1. Why reprint this and why make it a super rare? There's absolutely no reason. If you pull this, it is considered a dud. Especially since you could get secret rares for a quarter. You wouldn't even be saving the few cents you would be getting for a super rare. And then another example of this was Crystal Ring. Crystal Wing. Now, a lot of people actually like this as a reprint. By a lot of people, I mean a couple people in a Discord I was in. And the reason I don't like this is because the Shining Victory Secret Rare was worth a lot of money, which was its original print. And they got Battles of Legends Secret Rare, which really lowered the price down. But at the time that this became a super rare, it also had an ultra rare Adul Overload. And this ultra rare was about $3 whole, right? Not much money at all. So they were printed as a super rare. Now, Was this meta relevant? Yes, it could be used in certain decks. The Witch engine was being used a little bit, but when I say a little bit, I mean very, very little. And again, you only had to pay $3 for your Crystal Wing. However, if you offered your local player about $2 for it, I highly doubt he wouldn't give it to you. And they printed this as a super rare, lowering it wasn't very meta relevant, but it did have a little bit, I guess. It's not going to age well because you could get Ultras and Secrets. And there's just no point to it. And along with having Spiral, super rares. Now, Spiral were actually, this is post Master Plan being banned. There's no reason to get these super Spiral cards anymore because Spirals are out of the meta completely. So it was just bad timing on Card part. I understand that they probably made it in advance for when Spirals were meta, but seeing that they killed the deck, I really didn't see the point. Now we're going to get to the ultimate rares. Since most of the super rares were pretty awful, you had stuff like Scrap Gold, which a lot of people really liked, but you have to remember this was a one-of in Orcust, and Orcust faded out, and again, one-of, so really bad super. And you could go on and on about the supers in OTS Pack 13, but the point is, non-meta relevant, age poorly. A lot of them aren't even upgrades, which I just don't get, right? Which they should be. And then, you know, non-meta relevant. Ultis from OTS 13 now. Which, I mean, overall, they're not awful, but they're pretty bad when you compare them to most other OTS. Now, one of the first ultimate rares is Trap Tricks, well, Phasia. And to preface, I love Trap Tricks, right? I have a Trap Tricks deck profile up on the channel, which actually wasn't that good, but I will be giving you guys an updated Trap Tricks deck profile soon. But I really like Trap Tricks. I think they're a wonderful deck. I really like them post Judgment of the Light, especially. You know, back when the deck really didn't really play at all. You had to run stuff like Trap Hole, all that. But nostalgia aside, Konami really loves Trap Tricks. They keep giving them more support, all that, which I love. And to promote that, they decided to give Royal Phasia an Ultimate. I don't even like this, and I love the deck, right? Mainly because the Ultimate does not look... It looks good, but I would just rather run the Secret Rare because it kind of like puts out the colors a lot more, right? Very vibrant, where the Ultimate Rare kind of dampens that. And it's very weird because Ultimate Rares is one of my favorite rarities, if not it's probably my favorite besides Ghost Rare on a couple cards. So for me, I prefer a Secret Rare over an Ultimate Rare. Doesn't really happen, but the main point why I'm saying this is a bad, you know, Ultimate Rare, because I can't just say, I think the Secret Rare looks better, because then it just comes down to personal preference, and that's not really a good point to make, is that 99% of players look at this and do not care, right? Now, later on, Rafflesia was picked up a little bit because now if you can make it in your combo, you can make it to stop Nibiru by having one copy of Gravedigger's Trap Hole in your deck. So that way if they try to Nibiru you, you can detach, activate, you know, this, you get rid of their Nibiru, 2,000 damage to them, and you could keep comboing off. And that was what's really, really good about this card. It also works with hand traps as well, but point is, this is seeing a little bit of play now, but 95% of players do not have an interest in this card. In fact, I'd probably even still say the 99%. However, for those who love running the most highest rarity meta decks that use this, definitely would like the Ultimate Rare. And yeah, not really the best Ultimate Rare. We could have got a lot more relevant stuff. Then you have stuff like Ultimate Rare Book of Moon. Now, Book of Moon is a great card to have Ultimate Rare. However, a lot of players have been asking this for a very long time. And now that we've had it, it's a bit too late. Book of Moon isn't really seeing play at all. But however, it is a good collector card for older formats, for GOAT players, and you know, a lot of other stuff. Since Book of Moon was very good in many formats, right? So this definitely is a good Ultimate Rare as a collector card. It is going to age very well, and it's a card that a lot of people did want. But again, the timing of this was quite bad, right? I think that Ulti Book of Moon could have released a lot earlier. And speaking of that, is our next Ultimate Rare, which is literally about the same reasons, was Abyss Dweller. Just a little too late. This should have been an Ultimate Rare in like Astral Pack, right? Like this should have been, instead of Trap Trick Trap Hole Nightmare, we probably should have got this card as an Ultimate Rare, right? Again, a lot of Ultimate Rares we could have got, like Necro Valley, right? Which just not really that good of an Ultimate Rare, not because it doesn't look good, but because you need to have an update on Necro Valley like every single year. Fun fact, Necro Valley is the most erotic card, if you guys did not know. The point is, we should have got Abyss Dweller a lot earlier. Now that we have it, yeah, some players are going to want it. Yeah, it's a one-of, but who's running this right now? when are we going to run this in the future? Yes, certain decks can make Abyss Dweller, and it is very, very strong, but there's a better time to release this. It's not going to age too well, and the price kind of dropped like a rocket. I believe the only reason that OTS Pack 13 Ultimate Rares are as much as they are is because it dropped during the Tribe Infecting period, where a lot of players only got this if they bought product, and a lot of players weren't really buying product at the time when this came out, since you could get these from tournaments, because there are no tournaments hosting, and there still aren't really any tournaments besides a couple locals. No big events, but you guys get the point, right? The Ultimate Rares were mediocre. Yes, they served as upgrading a little bit higher rarity, at least when it comes to the Ultimate Rares, but the Super Rares completely fell flat, and that is also what you need to look at, because your average player probably will pull one Ultimate Rare, maybe eventually, if they're playing at locals every week, like let's say once a week, they get their entry pack. Sometimes they get a little more than one pack, like they get 4 plays, they get like a pack or 2 extra, so they get like 2 or 3 packs. But most players are going to be mostly pulling supers. Maybe they'll pull an Ultimate Rare, maybe 2, or probably 0. Again, depends, right? So you have to look at the Super Rares, and for the average Joe who's not going to pull the Ultimate Rares, they're useless. And again, for the average Joe, if you pull Ralphlaza and even a Dweller, you're probably not going to want it. Heck, you can even pull a lot of players, and this is the thing about OTS Pack 13, is a lot of players did not even care about any of the Ultimate Rares, and that is really bad on release, because we can't plan on the future of Ultimate Rares being good. Like, oh, 2-3 years from now, it has to have some relevance today. And that is why OTS Pack 13 fell completely flat. So to end off this video, what makes a good OTS pack, and I'm going to repeat this again, is meta relevancy, upgrading cards, player feedback, and how the players are going to use this currently in the future and how they like it. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the longer video. So it's about 17 minutes long, but I just wanted to compare 2 OTS packs, tell you how and why OTS 12 is good, OTS 13 is bad, and what makes a good OTS pack. If you guys like these videos, let me know by leaving a like, and let me know what makes a good OTS pack in the comment section below. I love to hear you guys' opinions. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you want to compare an OTS pack on your own? I actually really love reading paragraphs, believe it or not, as long as you're not on that stupid shit. So I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.